I mean, at least they didn't spend the whole episode on a boring duel, which I guess is a improvement. Hello, everyone. We're here to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush episode 4. And, oh boy. Alright, someone's going to say in the comments section I'm being very hard on this show. And, in a way, maybe a little bit. But, and I'm going to compare this episode a lot to where we were in 7s and maybe the other ones by episode 4. Because I think most of the Yugias have done a good job of establishing where we are and who everyone is by the 4th episode. And this episode just accidentally shot the whole show in the foot because it kind of highlighted what's kind of not working here. And because this is the same crew who did 7s, and I know they can give us something great, it kind of stands out a lot more than, say, of Reigns, where I know the staff from the last one had been gutted. So, yeah, let us get right on into... Yeah, something fell. I don't care. So, I don't know if the camera even caught... The mic even caught that. Doesn't matter. So, this episode of Go Rush has a very strange first, 5 minutes. Even the first fucking seconds has a problem, and that is, we now waste the first few seconds of every episode on just a throwaway thing explaining who Yudias is. They do this to save time and pad out the running. That's a problem, because in the last Yu-Gi-Oh! It felt like every second counted. Every minute of animation was put to what it needed to do best. Maybe it didn't quite work for you, but tell me when there was a frame that felt wasted, a joke that didn't go anywhere, or a character moment that wasn't then later built on. There probably is, but they did a much better job of hiding it. So yeah, so then our first bit of the episode is Yudias and Yuamu, who are brushing their teeth at the same time for some reason. They're brushing their teeth, and Yudias cannot figure out, shut up phone, how a toothbrush works. This is going to lead to our big problem, but more importantly, this is going to be misinterpreted by so many members of the fandom. You know who you are. But yeah, no, so after he brushes, after that bit, the OP plays. OP is still fucking fire. And then we get the episode, the bit that should be at the beginning is after the OP. Like, what you should do is use that first minute to kind of give a glimpse of your episode, and then afterwards have a little joke to get things going. And the thing that happens is that Yuhi or Yui or whatever the fuck you want to call this kid knocks over Yudias' spaceship and has one of its turbine things just pop out. And I really actually enjoyed this little bit because it's one of those things, you see the tiny spaceship and how it's just kind of like always there sitting around, hanging out in the background. You do kind of wonder what would have happened if it were to get knocked over. I also love the attention to detail of the sound effect it makes whenever someone touches it or is handling it. They make it actually sound like a plastic kid's toy that got broken. That's one of those little details. Like, they could have not given it a sound effect at all. Based on some later things in this episode, you'd think that's what they would do. But no, that little attention to detail just makes it all the more funnier. I also love how, Yuhi kind of does what you expect a kid to do. He's just kind of like, how do I fix it? Gotta get tape and paper. That I actually enjoyed, because that is a character-driven moment. That's what that kid would do, and I feel like we've established that's how he behaves. So I actually like that. I also I know I'm jumping around a little bit, I love the way that story arc is resolved at the end of the episode, and that is, when you actually see him handling the pieces, you see that it looks like one of those toys or figures where you put a piece in and twist it to get it to stay, and at the end, that's exactly what Yudias does to fix it. That is simple, that's fun, that's cute, I enjoyed that. The rest of the episode, I did not. So, while he's doing that, Yuamu and Yudias go shopping. And a part of me is kind of like, this might be fun. Let's see how Yudias interacts with the real world, or their world. And we don't see that. Instead, we skip to after the shopping trip. They're carrying groceries, and the Chupacabra kid is back. We knew that already. But the kid is back, and his thing is he's immediately like to Yudias, hey, buddy, I should teach you some cool shit about rush duels, right? You want to learn more about rush duels, right? You care about rush duels, right? Every fucking line out of your mouth's about fucking rush duels! It's a problem. I maybe have some latent aggression issues. But yeah, no, so, Yudias just goes with him. Doesn't tell Yuamu what's happening. Doesn't think there's something off that this dude who was a fucking lunatic towards them like a few days prior just now wants to be all best buddies with him. He just goes. And he's immediately like, you're my eternal friend forever. And this is a problem. And some of you may think, what? It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be silly. Yudias is a fun, silly character, right? Is he? Is that the idea to this guy? Because, like, as the rest of the episode goes on and we get the same fucking generic joke over and over again of the kid tries to kill Yudias and then Yudias, like, gets out of it because alien powers and then is all just like, thank you for this lesson, my friend. You're my bestest buddy forever. In this moment, I kind of realized a problem with this guy, and that is, I don't really know who he is or what kind of person he's supposed to be. He just kind of is. Like, in the other Yu-Gi-Ohs, I feel like they always did a decent enough job of establishing who's smart, who's dumb, who thinks a certain way, what is their thought process, what leads to this. There are problems along the way. Vrains and GX in particular, I thought had a lot of issues with how they present characters for the first few episodes. But and Arc 5, of course. But I felt like they did a decent enough job of making me follow things enough to understand where things are going. But what I've realized is Yudias doesn't really have a personality. So far, he's just proving to be like a happy-go-lucky do-gooder who just wants to do right by his people. And while that's redeeming, and there is a likability to the simplicity of the whole thing, it doesn't really make him interesting. He doesn't really have flaws. He doesn't really have, like, quirks or anything to him. He's just kind of like, I'm the bestest boy ever, and I just need to learn more about Earth and all that shit. He'll literally go along with everything, including an obvious trap. And, well, that's just not very fun. Part of the reason I love Yuga so much from the last one is that we did so much in the first few episodes to establish he's intelligent, he's clever, he thinks faster than everyone else, he's a few steps ahead of everyone else. He's obviously a bit of a dreamer, but he's a smart dreamer and he's working on actually getting his goals accomplished. He's likable, he's relatable, and he's just a fuck ton of fun to watch. Watching Yudias just kind of go along with whatever the plot of the episode is without really any hesitation or driving force from himself doesn't really make him very interesting. Even in lesser Yu-Gi-Ohs, like Vrains for instance, I felt like I had enough of a grasp of who Yusaku is in the first couple episodes to at least get me through, but here we are at episode 4, and I don't have any feel for him at all. This isn't necessarily me comparing this to other different kinds of anime. This is me comparing this to other Yu-Gi-Ohs, including the last one done by mostly the same people. That's kind of my problem here. And then we don't even get a duel. It's just dumb gags for 20 minutes. The whole shtick at the end of the episode is that the Chupacabra kid, once he's in the Chupacabra form and the mouth doesn't move, so we literally have multiple minutes of no fucking animation, is gonna kill all of Yudias' people, only to be revealed, yeah, it's the paper thing. And it's funny, but I'm just kind of like, so then what was all this even fucking about? This kid is just a fucking no-name henchman. He'll be out and, like, not cared about for a while. Or won't, and he comes back, in which case, I don't care about this guy. And then it turns out, oh no, Yuamu just fixed everything again by doing everything off-screen and just telling us about it later. By calling the alien brigade who then took the kid away, so maybe now we're supporting deportation. I don't fucking know. And then the episode ends with everyone all happy. And yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at the moment. Just kind of feeling a little disappointed and let down and just wondering what the past 22 minutes of my life have been and where I'm now going in life. But yeah, that was my thoughts on this week's Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. If you liked it, that's fine. Tell me about that below. Again, it's just the fact that I know we can do better, so that's what makes it feel worse when we don't. Now, as for the TCG question of the week, another YCS has come and gone. YCS Columbia. My apologies if any of you are from Columbia and I don't remember the city name. But yeah, no, what's interesting was that 3 Despia in top 8, and it actually kind of pushed Prank Kids down to only being 1 in top 8, the favorite deck for the whole thing, which says some interesting things about the meta. So my question for you is, will Despia's dominance continue? Because if so, I'm scared, because YCS Hartford is in about a month and I gotta learn this matchup. So yeah, tell me about that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week where hopefully we strike an actual balance of everything.